So, what game would you like me to add to the showcase, Lois?
Too bad I don't know a lot of games.
The answer that I'll whisper. I'm sorry, I haven't stood up.
I heard that one.
I know. I was whispering enough to be like, if the microphone chose to pick it up, it could. It's.
Looks like it wasn't loud enough to pick up the microphone, but you guys all read the title, so you know what she picked. Starting to regret inviting Autumn to that stream. Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Game Reserve. My name is Jagger Newman. I'm the war in these parts, and yeah, no live showcase this week. I had plans today, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be back in time for the showcase, so I wanted to make sure I pre-record something for you guys. And if you caught last week's stream, you know that, well, Lois and Autumn sort of tag team me, and now I have to play a game that I did not see myself playing for this channel when I started it. So tonight we are playing Princess Maker. Okay, so released in 1991, Princess Maker was, I guess you could call it a raising simulator or some sort. You know, Lois and Autumn described it as a Tamagotchi style game. And games like this were pretty popular in Japan and other parts of Asia. So, Princess Maker is one of the more famous games in this genre. When it was released in 1991, it was pretty popular and was widely ported to several different platforms in the time, and would be translated into several different languages as well, such as Chinese and Korean, because this was something that Lois played back in the day. That's part of how she and Autumn were able to bond. Here in the States, however, it was something of an unknown franchise. Like, had a hard time getting over here due to it being a very Japanese game, and just other outside forces working against it. I think Princess Maker 2 was actually supposed to get a release here in the States, but it was canceled because the publisher that had signed on for it went out of business right before it was time to release it. Starting with Princess Maker 3, though, these games would start to land stateside, and though they didn't really leave much of an impact, in recent years, mostly due to YouTube showcasing it, Princess Maker has become something of a cult series here in the States. This is one of Autumn's favorite video game franchises, and evidently Lois is a big fan of it too. So she won Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, so she got to pick the next game, and with some on a recommendation from Autumn, now I have to play it. And before I go any further, let's just get it out of the way. Yes, I am comfortable in my masculinity enough to the point to where I feel I can get away with playing a game like this. I am also aware of the reputation these games have due to certain bits of content, but that's not how we are going to play the game. So if you're expecting me to do that, or you're about to make fun of me in the comments for playing a game that is clearly outside of the demographic I belong to, you can take your keyboard and kick rocks. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started with this. As to how I'm going to be playing this game, I'm going to be playing it via Princess Maker Refined, which is a remaster of the game that is available on Steam. Boots right up, very simple, not going to cause any trouble, so let's go ahead and start. It is 7:10 right now. And get the game capture up. Yeah, you can tell that Studio Gainax didn't really touch this remaster. I would expect a lot better animation quality from them on this. Man, just looking at this already, like, you can just tell this is not something that I would typically play. This is something, like, I'm only really playing out of obligation, you know. My friends joined me for the showcase, and, you know, they won, so sure, I'll play a game where you basically raise a young girl with the intention of her being taken as a princess or something along those lines. And you know what? The Princess Maker is something that is fitting for the game preserve, because as the name implies, we are about, you know, preserving classic games and stuff like that. And this is a game that isn't really well known here in the States, so, you know, I'm sure there are people who will get a kick out of this, so, you know what the hell? Let's give it a shot. Okay, so first things first, we gotta pick a name. So, surname. So, let's see. It's hard to read these characters. You think they would have cleaned that up a little bit. And what would I name my daughter? I'm gonna call her Annabeth. And the reason for that is there's a naming scheme that's, like, if I ever have kids, that I would like to use. So, I think I'm going to use that here, just, you know, kind of get into the experience of this. Actually, as I was playing this, I was in contact with Lois, telling her about my experiences. And she was actually making fun of me at how seriously I was taking the game as I was playing. And I guess I'll say her blood type is O, universal donor, typically a good sign of character, I would say. And for birthday, I'm going to go with June 8th, combination of my parents' birthdays. Well, this certainly isn't what I was expecting. A demon army? No, it's pretty metal, actually. Maybe this won't be so bad. His name was... Yeah, it would have been funny if that was actually my name there. But they did ask for my last name, not my first name, so maybe that's why. No, when I read there was voice acts, and I was hoping it was going to be in English, but I guess that was asking for too much. Yeah, and I would turn down that title too after fending off a demonic invasion. The last thing I would want to do is take a place of authority. Yeah, I like this guy. I probably would have asked for something similar. God. Oh no. I would not do that though. I don't think I'm fit to be a parent by any stretch of the imaginations, and whatever I'm playing as probably isn't fit either, since he's so injured or whatever. This is only 500 pieces of gold to raise a child? Your Majesty, but dude, how about a 500 gold pension? You know, I just saved your kingdom, for crying out loud. I mean, like, But I'm not going to take a place of authority, but $500 a month that's so much to ask? I mean, I'm taking a child. And the title screen there, it's not typically good. It's a little too ornate, and because it's rendered with old DOSware software, it's, kind of hard to make out. Alright, so first of all, we always talk about the controls, but there isn't a whole lot to talk about here because it's basically a point and click interface. So essentially how the game works is you just raise this kid that you've adopted, and you're gonna raise her from age 10 to age 18. And the primary goal is to just do the best you can to raise a proper lady. They call it Princess Maker because the obvious goal of the game is to raise her to the point where maybe a royal or a prince or something will want to marry. God, what am I doing with my life? Okay, so one of the things that you can do is schedule some things for her to do, education. You can send her out to jobs to make money. You can have her take a day off, at which point she'll go out on the town, or you can take her on vacation. And depending on what you choose, it'll affect the character in different ways. Also down here, you can send her to the castle to see if she can get an audience with the king. Right here, you can go into town and get other people's opinion on her. Right here, this shows you some stats, and it kind of does work like an RPG. Depending on what you have her doing, different aspects of the character will go up. But there's always a give and take, I find, so you really need to think about what you're doing if you're going for a specific build or trying to get her into a specific place. But the game doesn't give you a whole lot of direction on what you need to do in order to achieve a specific ending, and there are a surprising amount of endings in this game too. It's honestly kind of impressive for 1991. You can also talk to your daughter. You can be gentle, you can be firm, or you can lecture, and this will also have different effects on her depending on how you do it. This is one aspect of the game that I feel could be expanded upon, because a big part of raising a child is, talking to them, getting to know them, so you can better nurture them, I guess you could say. So, just the fact that any dialogue between you and your daughter is so limited, that is a problem in my opinion. And the last thing on our list is that you can head to the market to buy various items, weapons, armor, and all that stuff. So this is basically what you're doing for the whole game, so there isn't a whole lot of what I would call gameplay here, so... damn it, it's only been 9 minutes, so... Alright, so let's see what I can do in an hour here. I'm not going to get her all the way up to 18 by the end of this, so let's just see what happens. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start by educating her, so we're going to start with basic study, then etiquette, and I will want my kid to know how to defend themselves, so I'm also going to have her take martial arts. So, let's see how this goes. I can tell already this guy would get on my nerves. Well, I hope this sign of good things to come. Yeah, so whether or not she does well with her studies or jobs or anything like that, I think is completely random. Even if you have, high-level stats that are well-tailored to whatever she's doing, whether or not she'll actually gain anything from what she's doing is random, but I think that's just kind of the nature of a game like this.
礼法とは伝統的な礼儀作法を学ぶお稽古です。一人前の淑女になるためには絶対に身につけなければなりませんよ。はい。
My friends would probably be surprised that I would even bother with a class like this, but I think one of the things that you'd want to do if you're a parent is, to try to raise your kid to be better than you are. So, I never really listened when my parents tried to teach me manners, so might as well make sure that my little girl actually does have some manners. I don't know if that makes me a hypocrite or not, but it just seems like something a good parent would do. Now, the martial arts thing, though, that's something that is definitely going to be questionable. Martial arts. I would teach my kid how to box, but, just a good way to instill some discipline into, and if I'm not around to defend them, I know that my kid can kick the crap out of a bully. Nah, we're not gonna do that. Not gonna have a 10-year-old girl fight you, dude. Okay, so far so good, but that already ate into my funds, and that's another thing you have to keep in mind about Princess Maker. Just about everything you do in the game costs money in some way, shape, or form. So a big part of the game is trying to find a balance between having a steady flow of income, as well as just making time for the girl to learn things, as well as just rest and be a kid. It probably sounds deeper than I'm making it out to be, but it is trickier than you would think, especially since you don't actually have a lot of influence over how your girl does within the span of, when you send her out into the world. Okay, so I probably am not going to have enough money for another round of classes, so why don't we go ahead? Actually, let's talk to her first. Gonna be firm, just want to make sure. Well, I guess I'll let her rest first. Give her some easier jobs. So, have her make money. So, look at the options. So, you can work at the inn, you can be a scribe, an armorer, a lumberjack, or you can volunteer at the church. So, armorer and lumberjack are clearly off the table. I am not going to make my 10-year-old daughter do jobs like that. So that leaves us the inn and scribe. I think for now, scribe would probably be the best bet. A less strenuous job, and put that schooling I paid money for to work. And I also would recommend sending her to church whenever you can, as much as possible, because helping other people out who are going to the church, it provides some good morals, and that will prevent her from misbehaving, at which point you send her out to work and employers won't take her, so it's something you don't want to happen. You said you were tired, Annabeth. What the heck? Spending my money. Well, technically it's her money, like... what kind of father am I? Like, I'm living off my daughter, my adopted daughter, who I adopted in post-war times, like... What the hell? I should at least have the option to go work myself, too. It's okay, kid. I had trouble writing at your age, too. Yeah, and so they dock you if she makes mistakes, too. Clearly, this is before labor laws. If the labor laws did exist, she wouldn't be allowed to work anyway, so... what are you gonna do? have some thoughts on what he just said, but for the sake of not offending anyone, I'm just going to keep it to myself.
ドブ掃除をしてたら転んで泥だらけに。
お前は今日までだったな。これが給金だ。悪いが失敗をした日の分は。
And if your daughter starts to act up, no matter what, the church is going to let her work there, but you only get $1 per day, so yeah, not a sustainable occupation. Okay, let's see how her stats are doing. Fatigue seems fine. I usually cut her a break if it gets to 50. So let's send her out to work again. This time I'm going to have her work at the end. Have her work as a scribe again. And also going to have her volunteer at the church.
来たわね。仕事はベッドメイクとお部屋の掃除。はい。
I forgot to talk to her too. I always forget to do that.
しまった。宿賃もらい忘れたわ。
And she will age as the game goes on, so that does give you a decent sense of progression. That's a good thing.
ご苦労さん。これお給金だよ。 失敗した分は天引きしたよ。でも体力ついたろ。
早速仕事にかかってくれ。書きも。はい。
預かった手紙をなくしちゃった。
It's okay, kid. Just do your best.
手紙の束をなくしちゃった。
今日は給料を払う日だな。失敗した日の給料は損害分として天引きだ。もう
よく来た。給料は安いが、出費。
It is some decent artwork for the game, though. Obviously, this isn't the same artwork that was used for the original DOS game. It was a little rougher then. This refined edition does clean some things up, so... And it's widely available and at a bargain price of $9, so... If you'd like to give this game a try, very easy to play if you really want to, which is good for game preservation standards. Okay, I'm going to remember to talk to her. I'm going to be firm. That's my girl. Okay, we are still good on fatigue. So, send her out to work again. Same cycle. Oh, I remembered one other thing I wanted to do for her. Wanted to have her switch to her summer clothes. I don't know if it really makes any kind of difference if you change your clothes or not, but, you know, I think it helps her avoid getting sick during the winter because you don't want to be wearing summer clothes when it's snowing outside. I have no idea. If that's the case, though, all the power to the developers because that is pretty advanced for the time. No, not educate her, make money. Alright, kid, do work. Yeah, been there. It's a good thing this lady that runs the inn is so kind. That's why I'm letting Annabeth work there.
早速仕事にかかってくれ。書き間違いは困るよ。はい。
Oh, doing well today, Annabeth. Spoke too
よく見
soon.
ると誤字脱字だらけだ。
There is no shame in that, kid.
手紙を違う
I
封
still
筒に入れて
misspell
送っちゃ
stuff,
った
and I'm 30 years old.
預かった手紙をなく
I
し
was
ちゃった
I was sending a text message to someone. They were asking me if I had eaten today. I told them I was finishing off lasagna I made last weekend when I had everybody over. And I just had the hardest time spelling lasagna. That is a hard word to spell. I really hope I'm providing some funny commentary for you guys, because, like, this probably isn't much to look at right here. I'm sure most of my viewership is tuned out so far. Or the few people I hear, they're either just really big on the Princess Maker series, or they're hoping I'm going to show some of the inappropriate stuff, which I am not doing. So if you are expecting that, get out of here.
どっちみち少ないがな。
Do be firm.
はい頑張りますお父さん
That's a tough girl right there. Alright, fatigue. Still alright on fatigue, so let's have her work again. Yes, and church.
しっかり働いておく
How many times can you flood a room, kid?
お布団2階から落としちゃった
Hey, what were you doing with that mattress?
忘れたご苦労さんこれお給金だよ失敗した分は天引きしたよでも体
早速仕事にかかってくれ。書き間違い。
預かった手紙をなくしちゃった
She is getting smarter, though, as you can see, it all goes up after a while. Some of the jobs you do, though, it will adversely affect certain stats. So if you send her out to work as a lumberjack, you'll build up strength, but if you send her to work as a scribe, you're going to lose some of that strength, but gain wisdom. So it's something you need to pay attention to. You gotta find that balance.
給料は安いが仕事。
ステンドグラス割っちゃったご心臓をひっくり返して壊しちゃった
Nothing a little glue can't fix.
お前は今日までだったな。これが給金だ。悪いが失敗をした日の分は神の名において差し引かせてもらったぞ。どっちみち少ないがな。
Alright, where are we at on fatigue? I think she could stand one more round of work.
はい頑張りますお父さん
So, in... Scribe... and church.
しっかり働いておくれよはいあシーツに花瓶の水が
It's just water. I'm sure the sheets need cleaning anyway.
宿泊名簿書き間違えちゃったいやお布団2階から落としちゃったご苦労さんこれお給金だよ失敗した分は天引きしたよでも体力ついたろ
早速仕事にかかってくれ。
ああよく見ると誤字脱字だらけだ住所書き間違えたみたい手紙を違う封筒に入れて送っちゃった預かった手紙をなくしちゃった
I can think of a couple of ways that could be
手紙の束をな
amusing.
くしちゃった
Why am I now thinking of Newman, the evil mailman from Seinfeld, and how he would blackmail people by withholding utility bills and stuff like that if he needed to get out.
よく来た。給料は安いが仕事は
In
山
a
ほどある。
time before
神は見ておられるぞ。
internets and online payments, you actually had to send checks and everything in the mail.
お布施をなくしちゃった。
How do you misplace an offering?
あ、経典が雑巾密でぐちゃぐちゃに。
お前は今日までだったな。
Uh,
これが給金だ。悪いが失敗をした日の分は神の名において差し引かせ
I've
て
been reading too much Jack Reacher.
どっちみち少ないかな。
The Harvest Festival. Yeah, so every year they have the Harvest Festival, and they have two events, the martial arts tournaments and the Miss Kingdom contest. So it's basically a fighting tournament and a beauty pageant. I am not going to enter my 10-year-old daughter in a beauty pageant, so we're just gonna rest today. She could use the day off.
よへんよ見事な腕じゃ。
ありがたき幸せ。
There is some questionable artwork there. Nah, I wonder who won.
リベよ。
光栄でございます。
Alright, kid. It's autumn now, so you need to wear something warmer. No, that's spring clothes. I wanted fall clothes. There we go. Okay, let's see here. Even though I gave her a day off, she is starting to get a little tired, so... Let's take it easy on her. She's only going to work as a scribe this week. And we are still going to send her to church. But we are going to let her have a day off too. And as you can see, even the days off require you to spend some money. So she can go have some fun in the village.
手紙を違う封筒に入れて送っちゃった。
今日は給料を払う日だな。失敗した日の給料は損害分として天引きだ。
よく来た。
I really don't like the look of that priest. That mustache and goatee just screams evil to me.
ステンドグラス割っちゃった。祭壇に雑巾水をこぼしちゃった。
お前は今日までだったな。これが給金だ。悪いが失敗をした日の分は神。
そんなに疲れてないのにね。
You're gonna take a day off. You've been working hard.
休めてよかった。
Okay, let's have a little chat.
はい、頑張ります、お父さん。
Good kid. Okay, I'd say it's time for another round of book learning. So, study, etiquette, martial arts. You guys are probably wondering what this is right here. Evidently, I'm a very poor reader as well, because I actually don't know how to say that word. Basically with that, the game sort of becomes something resembling an RPG, You're sent out into the wilderness, and you can get into fights with enemies, RPG style and stuff like that. Though at this stage in the game, that's not really recommended because she will get destroyed very, very quickly. So, yeah, not gonna let her do that just yet.
ではまた基本からじっくり。
私疲れちゃった。勉強なんか
Come on, kid. I gave you a day off before this. You need to try a little harder. Back when I was a kid, me and my brothers, we didn't necessarily get an allowance, which I think for most kids is just like maybe 20 bucks every month or so. Any money that we got from our parents, it was either given to us for special occasions like Christmas or our birthdays, or, and this was mostly how we got our money back in the day, grades. So I think we got like 20 bucks for A's, 15 bucks for B's, 10 bucks for C's, and nothing for A, D, or F. And if we got straight A's, that was $50. So I would say that's a good approach on my parents' watch.
では早速始めよう。この問題に答え
Oh,
な
it's
さい。
time for the level 2 exam. Hopefully I remember the answer to these questions.
氷の結晶が空中に多数浮遊する現象のことを何というか。
Probably not marine snow, that implies water. Definitely not a lightning bolt, so diamond dust.
ドラゴンのような探求類には天候の変化を感知する第三の目とも言うべき
It's probably not pineapple extract diet, and I'm pretty sure that says pancreas, so it's probably this one.
お見事。次から中級コースの授業を行おう。君には今日から
Yeah, and she's already a second class scholar at the age of 10, so age 11, so I earned some reputation points.
ではお稽古を始めましょう。
It would be nice if the game would also have your daughter tell you what she's interested in, because that's also something else you have to consider when you're being a parent. You can't necessarily mold your kid to be a miniature version of yourself. Odds are they are going to develop their own unique interests and stuff like that. And while you do want to, nudge them towards certain things like a strong moral compass, a responsibility, and things like that, you also want to nurture particular interests. So if they are interested in arts, let them do arts. If they want to play sports, let them play a sport. Within reason.
Oh, お前か。よく来たな。
I mean, I had an interest in video games and comics and stuff like that as a kid, but my parents made a point to limit that stuff growing up. So that may be why I'm so obsessed with this stuff as an adult, so make of that what you will. I love you, Mom and Dad, for the record. Nope. Too young. Stop calling my kid a pup, you asshole. Okay, we've hit winter, so it's time for the winter close. I probably would have given my kid my hat at some point. Okay, time to get back to work. Have her work at the inn. Have her work as a scribe. And have her work at the church. it is a very repetitive game. I wish there was a little more of an X factor at work here, but if you know what stuff to avoid, it's not that hard to keep your character on the right path. When I was playing this game in preparation for the showcase, I did have some issues with it. She did start to give me attitude at some point, so that's when I realized the importance of making sure your kid volunteers at the church, because that's how you keep morale stat up. If the morale stat gets too low, she'll start to act out, which isn't what you want. Because again, if she starts to act out, then she won't get work.
違う封筒に入れて送っちゃった。人気を手紙の山にこぼしちゃった。
今日は給料を払う日だな。
Honestly, if I was working at a scrap, I'd probably be fired for dueling on the paper, wasting ink and stuff like that.
ドブ掃除をしてたら転んで泥だらけに。
Starting to run out of things to say. Shame I don't have a live chat going tonight. I have this video set to premiere, so it is technically a live chat, but you know, I'm not in a position to respond to this. Unless I'm home by now, which case I probably am in the comments, so if you have something you would like to say or have a question, please say so. I'll try to answer it if I'm there. Just stay away from the topic of you know what. Alright, where's her stat at? Okay, so she is fatigued, so she needs a day off in there somewhere. So, scribe, church, and we'll let her rest.
早速仕事にかかってくれ。書きま。
手紙の束をなくしちゃった。預かった手紙をなくしちゃった。人気を手紙の山にこぼしちゃった。住所書き間違えたみたい。手紙を違う封筒に入れて送っちゃった。
今日は給料を払う日だな。失敗した日の給料は損害分として天引きだ。
よく来た。
$36 for a week of pay. Makes me thankful for the fact I'm paid hourly.
ご心臓をひっくり返して壊しちゃった。
お前は今日までだったな。これが給金だ。悪いが失敗をした日の分は神の名において差し引かせ。
お休みか。何して遊ぼう。
Why don't you go sledding? That's what I would do. Or throw snowball fights at something. Alright, let's put her to work again. Come on, Jagger, you gotta come up. Now my attention span is slipping. Oh, man. I've already completed this game. I already know I've raised my girl to be a proper lady. So, like, just doing the live stream here is just, or this showcase video, I guess you should say, is really just more of a formality. I just know, I'm going to get made fun of a lot for playing this. The people who recommended this already find it very amusing that I'm taking the time to play this. I know I got some people at my workplace who are gonna tease
ご
me
苦労さん。お
about
かげで
it.
助かったよ。
And my mom and dad are probably gonna wonder, why the heck are you doing that?
早速仕事にかかってくれ。
It's YouTube, guys. I mean, like,
手紙の束をなくしちゃった。
and let's be real, there are worse ways I could be making a fool of myself than just doing this.
今日は給料を払う日だな。失敗した日の給料は損害分として天引きだ。もう
よく来た。給料は安いが仕事、
経典が雑巾密でぐちゃぐちゃに。ご心臓をひっくり返して壊しちゃった。
お前は今日までだったな。これが給金だ。悪いが失敗をした日の分は神の名において差し引かせてもらったぞ。どっちみち少ない
Okay, we're
から
hitting spring, so let's get the spring close out. Talk to her, see how she's doing.
はい、頑張ります、お父さん。
Very limited on things she can say, so what are you gonna do? You guys know the drill by this point. Autumn plays this game, well, not this game in particular, but one of these games very frequently. Like every time I see her on Steam, this is what it shows her playing.
しっかり
So
働いておくれよ。
I can't fathom playing this as frequently as she does. Outside of the obvious reason that it's very clearly not my cup of tea. There's just not enough stimulation here for me. Like, as I was getting to the end of the game later today, I was just begging for it to end so that I could get back to Doom the Dark Ages for crying out loud.
でも体力ついたろ。
早速仕事にかかってくれ。
ああ、よく見ると誤字脱字だらけだ。
今日は給料を払う日だな。失敗した日の給料は損害分として天引きだ。もう
よく来た。給料は安いが仕事は、
ドブ掃除をしてたら転んで泥だらけに。ステンドグラス割っちゃった。
お前は今日までだったな。これが給金だ。悪いが失敗をした日の分は神の名において差し引かせてもらったぞ。
Give
ど
her
っ
a
ちみ
talking
ち少ない
to.
かな。
はい、頑張ります、お父さん。
Okay, where are we at on time? So about 15 minutes left. You check her fatigue stats. She's still good.
「しっかり働いておく。はい。あ、シーツに花瓶の水が。や、お布団2階から落としちゃった。宿賃もらい忘れた。ご苦労さん、これお給金だよ。失敗した分は天引きしたよ。でも体力ついたろ。
早速仕事にかかってくれ。
I am really out of stuff to say here. Like,
手紙の束を
I was
なくし
afraid
ちゃ
of
った。
this as I was playing the game. Like, would this be entertaining enough for a stream, or I'm sort of feeling no.
見ると5時。
今日は
I'm curious how
給料を払
many
う日だな。
views this
失
video
敗
is
した
going
日
to
の給
get.
料は損害分として天引きだ。
よく来た。給料は安いが、
祭壇に雑巾水をこぼしちゃった。ドブ掃除をしてたら転んで泥だらけに。お布施をなくしちゃった。
お前は今日までだったな。これが給金だ。悪いが失敗をした日の分は神の名において差し引かせてもらったぞ。どっちみち少ないかな。
Confirm.
はい、頑張ります、お父さん。
Switch her into her summer clothes. I'll check her stat first. She's got some more work in her. Probably after this, she's gonna need a day off, and then I'm gonna have to send her to school again.
しっかり働いておくれ。はい。あ、部屋中水浸し。宿泊名簿書き間違えちゃった。やっ、お布団2階から落としちゃった。ご苦労さん、これお給金だよ。失敗した分は天引きしたよ。でも体力ついたろ。
早速仕事にかかって。
手紙の束をなくしちゃった。預かった手紙をなくしちゃった。ああ、よく見ると誤字脱字だらけだ。住所書き間違えた。
今日は給料を払う日だな。失敗した日の給料は
I wonder how many people have already clicked off the video. Like, I am out of stuff to say. Like, I think after this last round of education, I'm just gonna see where I'm at with the community and the royals, and then I'm gonna call it. Then I will be done with Princess Maker for the love of Lifeson.
お前は
At
今日
least
までだ
until I have to cover the next game in the series. Crap!
悪いが失敗をした日の分は神の名において差し引かせてもらったぞ。どっちみち少ないかな。
And she could probably work a little more. Let's see.
はい、頑張ります、
she's
お
good.
父さん。しっかりは、はい。
She's getting better at working, though, it
私
seems.
もらい忘れた。ご苦労さん、これお給金だよ。失敗した分は天引きして。
早速仕事にかかって。
はい。預かった手紙をなくしちゃった。人気を手紙の山、手紙を違う封筒に入れて送っちゃった。
今日は給料を払う日だな。失敗した日の給料は損害分として
よく来た。給料はや、
Just get on with it, guy.
祭壇に雑巾水をこぼしちゃった。
Atta girl.
経典が雑巾水でぐちゃぐちゃに。ドブ掃除をしてたら転んで泥だらけに。
お前は今日までだったな。こ これが給金だ。悪いが失敗をした日の分は神の名において差し引かせてもらったぞ。
Alright,
どっ
let's
ち
see
みち
where
少
we're
ないん
at.
だ。
Okay, time for a break. Scribe. Church. Let it rest.
早速仕事にかかってくる。
住所書き間違えたみたい。
Wish there was a way to make this go faster.
送っちゃった。
今日は給料を払う日だな。失敗した日の給料は
よく来た。
ドブ掃除をしてたら転んで泥だらけ。お布施をなくしちゃった。あ、経典が雑巾密でぐちゃぐちゃに。
お前は今日までだったな。これが給金だ。悪いが失敗をした日の分は
お休みか。何して遊ぼう。
Whatever you want, kid. Within reason.
休めてよかった。
Alright, one more round of schooling for her.
やあこんにちは。今日から中級コースに入ります。
$160 for schooling.
私疲れちゃった。
Come on, kid.
ないよ。
I'm paying for this.
また待っているよ。
ではお稽古を
I was
始めましょう。
curious if we would have been able to go to the next level of education.
今日は体がだるくって。だいぶマシになってきました。
おお、お前か。
疲れて稽古に身が入んないの。
今回の訓練は今日で終わりだ。どうだ、
College
やめて
boys.
おくか。まあいい
I'm
だろ
gonna
う。
let that guy get
お
the
前は
crap
ま
out
だ
of my
ひよ
little
っこだ
girl.
からな。
Okay, so we're about out of time, so let's see what the townspeople think of my kids so far.
名前だけは確か勇者様の幼女の
上品な感じがするよ。
女の子だから力は強くないんだぜ。
Someone's sexist. Not bad so far. Let's see how far I can get into the castle. Here we
これ
go.
これ、お前は何者だ。
こんにちは。
この娘、ただの平民とは思えない気品だぞ。よーし、通れ。隊長に取り継いでやろう。
Alright, thanks, guy.
何？王様に面会に来た娘だって。
こんにちは。
これは品のいいお嬢さんだ。自由の方に紹介してやろう。自重とは王族型の身の回りの世話をする役目の人だ。
おや、衛兵隊長、その娘は
The only guy here who actually looks like he could be, you know, Asian.
こんにちは。
このくらい礼儀がしっかりした娘なら王様に合わせても良いかも。
I'm getting pretty far in there, aren't I?
してみようか。
何事かね、パウエル知事。
こんにちは。
お前の礼法貴賓では到底国王陛下の前に出すことはできぬ。
I can't tell if that was soft or not. But pretty far there, not too bad. And I think that's a good place to stop. So, Princess Maker. This is obviously not my game. Like, as I was talking to Lois about this all week, I made it very clear that while I didn't necessarily hate my time with the game, and I'll admit I did get into it just a little bit, now that the showcase is over, I am probably never going to play this game again, outside of the fact that it is just well outside of what I typically play. I just don't think there is enough to it to really hold my interest longer than the week I've played it. Well, there is a nice sense of progression here, and you do get a nice feeling as you raise up this kid and see her make something of herself. There are just other games I would rather play than this, but I can definitely see why there is an audience for this. I can definitely see why Autumn enjoys it, because I'm tempted to call it a cozy game, but, there is some stuff in this game that is not so cozy. Like, there are a lot of different endings to this game, and you can screw up raising this kid, and, like, some people do that intentionally because, why not? But, so I guess I would recommend it to a certain audience, but, I'm probably never going to play this one again. I'm sure you guys are probably wondering the ending I got. I think I did a pretty good job. The young lady was a doctor by the time she reached 18 years old. Had enough grace to get an audience with the king. And she ended up marrying a nobleman. And because of her intelligence and skill, she was able to help them. They were able to work together to rise to a higher level in ability, just short of royal. So, yeah, I don't think I did a terribly good job. I still think I'd be a lousy parent in real life, but, what are you gonna do? So yeah, Princess Maker. Glad to be done with it. That's gonna do it for tonight, guys. If you enjoyed tonight's content, please like and subscribe. Do not like and subscribe if you want this to be a Princess Maker channel, because that is not going to happen anytime soon. Basically what I do is I take a video game, play it for about an hour, and just talk about the designs, stuff like that, things I like, things I don't like, the artistry of it, and stuff like that, because, I'm passionate about that and I enjoy talking about it. What I do not do here is play games from start to finish, so if you're looking for someone to do that, you're going to have to look elsewhere, because I feel like you're losing something if you aren't playing the game yourself. So that's part of the purpose of the Game Reserve, to encourage people to try the games I play. And yes, that does include Princess Maker, at least to some degree. That being said, if there is something you would like me to cover in this format, please leave it in the comments. If I think it's worth looking at, I'll take a look at it. Please do not flood the comments with more Tamagotchi games, because, oh man, it's gonna be a while before I want to play something like this again, and that probably will be when I eventually do. Autumn, Lois, why did you do this to me? Alright guys, that's gonna do it for tonight. Hope you all have a good work week and take care.